Good evening, everyone. I am your play-by-play caster, Redacted, joined tonight with my color caster, Sultan, and we are here for Week 9 of the Classic Championship Series. We have Horizon Gaming versus Predictive Gaming Odin, and it is going to be one contentious series, don't you think, Sultan?
Yeah, exactly. We're seeing kind of a race for the second seed right now between the two
Mm-hmm.
teams. So just having this matchup in week 9, last week of the regular season, is going to be really hype.
Definitely hype indeed. And, just to give our viewers some perspective and information on both of these teams, we actually have a wonderful graphic that I wanted to pull up just so we can know what we're getting into. We got some stats now, so let's just get into it real quick. Why don't you say, Sultan? So here we have, we see the team KDA. These are average team stats for both teams, by the way. So, Horizon Gaming, the average KD is a little bit lower than you know,
Yeah.
we kind of expect of some plat leagues, but that's just a team thing. Now, obviously, lane by lane is definitely different, but we can move into the other things. So, like game time, deaths per game. So let's just go into it. So, what do you have to say about some of these team stats?
I think like overall when we look, it shows that PGO kind of it's like they took longer to finish the games, but this
Mm-hmm.
can also be interpreted as it like even if you're in the lead, it might take a long time for you to kind of push your lead into them. So that's
Mm-hmm.
one thing to look at. Uh like that skills per game, it doesn't really matter that much at the end of the day because I'm pretty sure Horizon had a much higher KD coming into the last few weeks. They had like if rough series back to back. I think not back to back. One of them was against Iconic. One of them against Sensei Squad.
Yeah.
So that always affects it. Game record is actually pretty close. We see PGO having like 2 more losses in
Mm-hmm.
the games that they actually won, and Horizon being able to kind of like pull ahead in the winning series record too, which means that so since they have the same game record,
Mm-hmm.
it's just gonna be whoever wins this will kind of just like take the second spot. I think if I'm not wrong, if PGO wins 2-1, they might still PGO has to win 2-0 to get
Mm-hmm.
a third seed. Okay, wait. Okay, I think I'm just having a problem here. Okay, so if PGO wins, they get the
Okay.
third seed.
Okay.
But if they lose, they get fourth seed. So they're looking to get to third seed. And Horizon, if they win, they go to second seed because they have a better record in general than Shadows when it comes to
Mm-hmm.
game record. But
Mm-hmm.
if they lose, Predictive goes to third, and then they go through fourth. So
Well, super Hub Zone in chat is saying that they're actually gonna get second seed if they 2-0,
they do.
apparently. I'm not the mathematician. We'll leave that up to the experts here in the CCS, but
I'm
you know,
I'm pretty sure they can't just because Shadows got a 2-0 FF win this week.
hmm hmm
So even if Predictive wins 2-0 today,
well,
oh wait, they have
I
the head to head.
they have the head to
Oh,
head.
okay,
They have the
okay.
head to
Never
head.
mind.
Yeah,
Yep.
they have the head to head.
Okay, my bad. I think I thought the game series would be higher, like prior, but if
hmm
it's head to head, yeah. If Predictive wins, they're gonna get the second seed. Then, so this means that we're gonna have a kind of a game to decide who's going to be the second seed.
Yeah, definitely. It will be a game indeed because seeding is very important. I mean, as we know, seeding, the top two seeds, I believe, do get a bye with the first seed getting to choose who they want to play against, but that's pretty much locked in by Goldfish Gaming there. So I know Horizon have been a little bit shaky, so I know they really want to try and secure this second seed for themselves. And of course, PGO right there, right behind them, and they would love to have a bye as well to be able to scout out their competition and just get a week of rest and scrims and whatnot and find out like who's gonna be their opponent versus playing in the first round and then the next round, so on and so forth. It just gives you a better life raft throughout the gauntlet that is the playoffs here. But just thinking of all this, it's going to be very exciting as we're prepping for draft here. Horizon is on the blue side with PGO being on red. Sultan, any thoughts on draft? Now that we're on 12.6 here.
Yeah, so there were obvious nerfs. I think one of the biggest one, at least would
Mm-hmm,
probably affect the meta was the Hecarim nerfs. I still think Hecarim in general as a champion is super strong, so
mm-hmm,
like it shouldn't take away a lot if your team is really good playing with it. You
mm-hmm,
can still probably just like take over games with it. It's pretty easy. They took down some damage, but in my opinion, Hecarim's strength is just kind of the snowball that you can have. The movement speed just makes it so hard for the enemy team to actually have a counter pick against you unless
mm-hmm.
they have like in my opinion champs like Trundle kind of works really good into him because make like when Hecarim tries to go in, it makes him really squishy. So that was like one of the nerfs. I think Tryndamere also received one, which I think
Mm-hmm.
Hearthstone sometimes likes to pull out. So maybe that might be something to look at. Maybe Tryndamere's Tryndamere. We all know. He just kind of coin flips the crits early on. If you're
Yeah.
lucky, you just win the lane. If you're not, it's like oh yeah, it's just an FF because like that champion is really snowbally. But in
Mm-hmm,
the end, I think with how the meta looks, it should be kind of similar to what was kind of being played before. I don't think
mm-hmm,
there will be a lot of changes, especially since these teams have been playing kind of the same style. I think
mm-hmm.
they would give more priority to their comfort rather than playing something that is meta but that they haven't really had practice on.
Yeah, definitely indeed. Definitely indeed. And we will have to find out here as we are ready for draft and we are, draft is active now and we already have a couple of bans coming out super fast actually. Horizon banning the Chameleon Thresh already and PGO responding with the Viego Karma. These drafts are coming in. Warwick as a third ban for Horizon Gaming though. So maybe they know something we don't as we see the Lucian ban for PGO for on their R3 on the red side there. And first pick Ari for Horizon. Oh my goodness, this
Yeah,
draft is just lightning quick. We didn't even
yeah,
have time to really talk about all these bands and whatnot.
yeah.
And now we see Galio locked in for PGO here on R1, and
It was
they're
pretty
rounding out their second pick here.
the Ash.
Okay. The Ash. Interesting. Sultan, what you got to say about that so far? What does that
Okay.
tell you so far with the Galio Ash?
Well, I think in general draft, they both teams have an idea. They
Mm-hmm.
like I think they're not really going for the counter picks, rather they're
Mm-hmm.
just like picking their comforts that they've been playing because like this is like the picks are just going in like in the first 5-6 seconds, right?
Yeah.
But if you need, I want to talk about the bans first. Karma is a really dominant support right now,
Mm-hmm.
probably one of the best enchanters in the game, and I know Bravo plays it. On the other side of the bans, Camille has been what's been the game-winning champion for the side of PGO. Like especially Hearthstone on the Camille is super good, just
Mm-hmm.
super comfortable. Warwick is a pick that Charizard plays, and it's a kind of a champion that sometimes the junglers don't really have much experience playing into because it's not that popular in solo queue.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see Ari, Zaya, and Volibear being picked by Horizon. Ari is probably one of the higher picks in the like one of the highest tier champions in the mid lane right now.
Yeah.
Kaiser is a really skilled Ari player as far as I remember, and also the Zaya, it's a safe option. You can dodge the Asher pretty easily with the Feather
Mm-hmm.
Storm that she has. Also, the Wally Bear is like probably the best jungler in the game right now. The answer
Mm-hmm.
to Wally Bear is the Nocturne and Zillion. That's like super, just like very pressing ultimates
Yeah.
globally and coming for you.
These teams are definitely ready to play as they are not sparing us casters any time to get any, intellect in any dialogue, any analysis as we sped through bands and now we're speeding through picks here as we see the Alistar locked in her Horizon. And I wanted to go back and I thought Horizon did a very well done job by banning the Vex there. As we've seen recently, the Vex Nocturne combo is pretty dastardly and dangerous. I mean, you could have put that Gallo into support, Vex go mid, and then you just have the Nocturne going with the Galio ulting him, then the Vex to come. Oh my god, it'd just be a freaking massacre. So that's a
Yeah.
pretty good ban from Horizon there. As we see the Aatrox being blinded for Horizon on the top lane. So Archon piloting that Denzin there, and we'll see how Huffzone will respond here.
The Tryndamere.
Super top, definitely choosing the Tryndamere there. So well done from the
Yeah.
PGO top laner.
Yeah. Tryndamere is a good pick into Aatrox. It is it can be rough. It's a kind of a skill matchup. It depends if you know the matchup. It depends on your matchup knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
But I think both top laners have decent experience with these top laners, so it will be an interesting lane to look up to. It will probably
Mm-hmm.
come down to which jungler kind of like gets to the top lane and like kind of gifts the kill to their top laner and the lead at the same time. Alistar also being picked up. I think Alistar is a really good pickup, thinking that they're gonna need some peel because like Zaya Ultimate alone will not be enough to peel off a Galio, Ashe, Nocturne, a Tryndamere running from the side lane, from the flank, and then like even if you get a kill, there's still
Yeah.
the Zillion ult, there's the Tryndamere ultimates. It's gonna be really hard to get a kill. The thing is,
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
oh
Sorry.
my bad. I think
No. Go
oh,
ahead. Yeah, go ahead
okay,
and
okay.
finish.
My problem is that if PGO is like PGO side has a way to play this game because
Mm-hmm.
like even if they're behind, they can always go for the side lane picks with the Nocturne Galio. They can look for the enchanted crystal arrows from the Ashe. So like they always have that potential to like pick someone, get a shutdown, kind of keep the game rolling. But
Mm-hmm.
for the side of Horizon, their champions, if they are behind, it is really hard to play these champions. If they're ahead, it's fine because like they're snowbally champions. Ari, Aatrox, they kind of like push their lead into the opponents,
Mm-hmm.
and like they don't. It's hard to punish them even with PGO's comp if the side of Horizon is ahead. But yeah, the early game will probably matter a lot in this game, especially after the
Yep.
like level 6 start to come in.
Yep, no, I definitely agree with you for on that statement there because yeah, like you said, I typically I for those who have caught my cast, I won't say that I don't like the Ash pick. It's that every time I've seen Ash picked, she loses because most of the teams, I feel like because she has been kind of out of the meta for so long and she hasn't been played as much, a lot of teams don't really know how to utilize her effectively or to her greatest potential. But I think as time has progressed, teams are starting to realize how to play around this pick once again. So yeah, for sure, like we'll see if PGO can break that ass curse I just placed on them and not lose game one. Good luck, and we'll see if Horizon definitely don't flame out in this early game here. But yeah, Horizon are definitely going to have to play this early game. I expect to see them being very aggressive, especially like the Aatrox and the Ari here. I mean, Zaya will still eventually do damage with the lethality build and whatnot, but they're also gonna have to be really careful because PGO just has so much CC. The Zillion stun, the Galio has two to three, two to three abilities of his that are just straight CC, depending on how he combos it. And then if he builds an Everfrost too, like that's another item there. So
Yeah.
yeah.
There are obviously a lot of like stuns and slows for the side of PGO. I think what I would like for the side of Horizon to do is
Mm-hmm.
kind of look for like maybe a dive, maybe like camping the bot side until this
Mm-hmm.
Zillion hits 6 or like until Galio and Nocturne hits that level 6. Because
Mm-hmm.
once those like Nocturne Galio ults come in, it's going to be
Mm-hmm.
much harder to do a play in the side lane. Just off because like if you overextend even like for 1 second, the enemy team has the like ability to just like just come and like just press ult on you,
Yeah,
and you just
easy press R comp, right?
yeah, and then collapse pretty easily. And
Mm-hmm.
after those ultimates, as you said, Galio, just Galio has 3 ways to stun people or like knock up or like taunt, right? And then
Yeah.
there's the Zillion slows, the bombs, Ash ultimate,
Yep.
Ash slows. Like there's just too much Nocturne fear, anything. So
Yeah.
they need to be really careful with how they play.
Yeah, definitely indeed. And we will have to see how both of these teams navigate the rift and navigate that paranoia that Charizard will be, dashing into their hearts. So we'll just have to keep our eye on that. But before we cut to a short break here, I just also want to remind our viewers at home about Pro Comps, which is a drafting tool that's the first of its kind aimed at competitive and solo queue play. It Pro Comps allows the user live feedback and analysis on drafting, giving them recommendations on picks, notes on matchups here, such as Nocturne into Volibear, and analysis on the enemy team's win conditions. I think we can say the win con for PGO is definitely the Tryndamere split. These features allow the user to gain an edge on their opponent and improve their drafting skills. You can use this code CCS25 for 25% off on your first 6 months. Once again, that's CCS25 for 25% off on your first 6 months. And with that being said, we're going to cut to break here. We'll be right back for game 1 of Horizon Gaming versus Predictive Gaming Odin. You don't want to miss it. Welcome back, everyone, as we are getting ready. Actually, we're here for game one of Horizon Gaming versus Predictive Gaming, Odin. And we already see ourselves a 5-stack coming out from the Horizon Gaming squad here. Will they bear fruit for their conquest? Or will sussed out by the Tryndamere, and we see the pings, we see the recalls? The answer is no. Sultan, while we have some time now, since that's been sussed out, let's take a look at Summoners and Runes. Anything interesting, out of ordinary, weird?
Not really. We just see the area coming from Scoms, which means he's going to be going for the lately really popular lethality Zaya. We see the cleanse coming from Odmich, which is interesting because he's not going to be able to use it to like Bravo's Q or like the headbutt combo. So that's one of the things. I guess he can use it to Ari Charm, the Zaya route, so there's still like a lot of things that he can cleanse. It's just a safety tool, which is fine. I would have maybe liked to see an exhaust just so that they can use it on maybe Ari, maybe Aatrox when they're trying to like get on top of this Ash. You also see the Predator coming from Galio. So that means he's gonna be looking to roam around with Charizard, which should be the game plan for the side of PGO. That's really, at least really good at realizing his VinCon and how to play the game. So.
Yeah, definitely, indeed. Oops, I dropped my spoon there. Definitely, indeed, as we see ourselves some early game trading here between the bot lane, but right now it's just, a little bit here and there, back and forth. They're both just trying to get as much CS as possible, probably looking for that level 2, but Archon and Huffsome, Archon especially being really aggressive into this Tryndamere early. I mean, as he should, right? He doesn't have level 6 yet. You want to try and punish Tryndamere as early as possible, pre-6, because he just becomes that much harder to deal with once he does hit that level 6.
Especially for Aatrox, he has a little bit more range that he can fight with, especially with his Q. If he's able to hand those like the tip of the Darkin Blade, those things do a lot of damage. And we see
as Whole Grain Man gets the taunt, gets the knockup onto the Ari here. Nocturne is here to back up his mid laner, and First Blood will be claimed by the side of PGO. Whole Grain Man and Charizard picking that up.
Yeah. It's bad, but it's not the end of the world. Though of course Galio gets the kill, especially like he started with the Dark Seal. He committed that, and like if it didn't work out, it would have might have a little bad for him because he doesn't get the extra mana. It's a really snowbally rune. It's really good that he get that going at 3 minutes in. Now he's getting the reset, probably gonna pick up an Amp Tome or maybe a Ruby Crystal. But he picks up
the boots actually.
Yeah.
Oh, boots and a Gnome Magic Mantle.
He's respecting the Ari. Actually,
like still an Ari,
Yeah, and like when he finishes his Merc Treads, it's gonna be really hard for the Ari to do anything to him in lane. Like Galio in general is really good into mages because of his like high MR stats. Also the MR shield that he gets from his W's passive. So. Especially with the Merc Treads, this Ari will not really have a fun time in the mid lane, especially in a 1v1 situation.
Do you think he maxes W in the early game until he gets to 6 then? Because sometimes I would do that if I'm against a heavy... If I know I'm going to be out damaged or out poked early game, I'll max W first on Galio just for more resistances and survivability. I mean, he doesn't need to, but it's just something curious to think about.
If the enemy team had more AP threats, it would have been fine. Like, I think you need to get your Q maxed out, just because since you're running the Predator, your Galio, you want to use your ultimate. You want to max out your Q, push these waves as fast as possible. You see
as fast as possible, indeed. As Volibear tried to get something onto this bot lane here of PGO, but the Zillion speed up ensures that they are safe. And the Volibear is sorry. And now sussed out, as they know where the Volibear is.
Yeah. It's actually a fine trade. They traded Jackal's Flash for Oddmich's Flash and Cleanse. So if they look for another play,
Nocturne is here though. Nocturne is looking, flash out from the edge. Charizard still wants it though. Gets knocked back from Bravo there, and he will back off as well.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, just trade him. Just trade him.
Both junglers actually are like doing a really good job of making sure these ADCs are not having a fun time in lane, because now both ADCs not having their defensive summoner spells. Oh my, the crit just
Yeah, the Q2 missed. Oh man.
Off zone. This is too much. The crits are just like too strong right now.
Yeah, super top Huff Zone definitely playing really well right now. Oh, he dodged it again. Okay. Alright, I see you super top.
He gets his level 6. If he had a reset where he had like maybe a pickaxe like Archon, I'm pretty sure he would have went for the dive. But he's going to look for. They find the Volibear in the jungle again. They're doing a really good job of just tracking Jackal in the early game, especially when Charizard already was able to get to the mid lane, get that kill onto the Ahri. Just making sure Volibear doesn't get the early game presence that he normally has, because that's a strong thing about Volibear. He can outduel most of the junglers. He's really good at ganking early on, and after 6 he's good at diving. But if you stop him down, especially early in the game, it makes it so that
as the taunt stun lands from Surprise here, Whole Green Man gets the ignite onto the Ahri. She's ticking, she's burning, she is down as Surprise gets the kill.
Yeah, good roam. I think Horizon just didn't respect the rotation. Like they just heard the dragon going down, so maybe playing a little bit safer in the mid lane would have helped. But Stomps might be just dead here.
Stomps definitely caught out and a bit forward as Surprise and Odimich just basically gunned the Ahri down there with those volleys of arrows. So this PGO bot lane definitely taking the advantage. PGO as a whole and taking an early game advantage here. And this is not what Horizon want. They want to be the early game team that has the advantage. But unfortunately, it has not worked out in their favor so far.
Ooh, a lot of damage.
Archon. Oh, one more hit here. Archon does have ult. Oh, do you think he hesitated? I think he was scared. He should have ulted and dove him like right away. I think he would have got it maybe.
Oh, Charizard.
But Charizard is now here with the paranoia flash out from Archon here, but it's not enough. He's taken down.
Yeah. It was a good bait play from Huff Zone, just baiting out the ultimate from Archon, making him push forward.
Oh, Green Man gets the knockup onto Kaiser Uwu. Kaiser Uwu using that Spirit Rush to ensure he has some distance there, as Surprise does burn his flash for the ultimate of the Ahri there.
We're already seeing like really good map rotations from the side of PGO. They're just like playing this game super aggro, like making sure that like Horizon is not having the early game pressure that they want to have. And like you see, like after these level 6 started to come in, Nocturne just picking up the kill in the top side onto the Archon. Like that was the first Nocturne ultimate that we've seen. And they still have the Galio, they still have Ash's Enchanted Crystal Arrows. They still have the what was its name? Hero's Entrance from the Galio. So
yeah, Heroic Entrance. Oh, and now Bravo. Oh no, Bravo caught out here. His whole Green Man gets the top. That kill should be going over to the Galio. Or actually, they give it to Odimich, which is actually really good. So Odimich now, this Ash 2-0-0, 150 gold bounty.
Yeah, it's looking rough. One thing that's going good is that their CS numbers. They're CSing much better than the side of PGO, but CSing doesn't matter as much when you're...
This Galio Zillion combo is insane, and it does not stop. PGO are on a tear right now. Oh my goodness, I think the Zillion might be the surprise, is being a surprise all across the rift right now.
Yeah, I think it's just really unlucky for the cut. Like not only unlucky, it's really well played from the side of PGO, but it's been just like mistakes coming from Kaiser, especially after dying the early on in the game. And then afterwards, like when you burn your Spirit Rush and you know that you don't have your flash up, you have to play with extra respect to the side of PGO's like CC. Like we're seeing like the E comes in from the Galio, taunts comes right on top, and then the zillion bombs are just stacked up too. So it's like super hard for them to do anything. Odin is alone here.
Yeah, this is kind of wild. Like, this Surprise is now on the top side of the map here, and his Ashe is left alone. But she's, you know, Odin is doing pretty well, holding his own. But we do see Jackal here stalking the Ashe and the Nocturne as Nocturne ultimate's in, but Scott uses the feather there to ensure that he stays alive. Hogrein Man will secure the kill onto the Xayah though, as Odimich gets the arrow. They're trying to claim something back for themselves. It looks like only the Nocturne will go down on the side of PGL here.
I thought they would use the Ashe arrow way earlier than how they used to. They used it a little too late. It could have been like a much easier kill. Like they got the Charizard. Yep, we're seeing the replay here. Bravo was looking for the dive, and then the Nocturne Galio ultimate combo comes in. Ashe ultimate comes just so late here. Like it's still not on. It's still not on. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have to cut that replay short though, Sultan, as we see Huffzone and Arkin here fighting this 1v1 mano-a-mano, and Huffzone will claim the kill onto the Archon there. 1-0-1 for the Tryndamere, who is still down about 22 CS, or 20, yeah, it's about 22 CS.
That's the strength of Tryndamere.
Actually,
oh, were you gonna say something?
Oh no, go ahead.
Okay. But that's the strength of Tryndamere. You just like how it sometimes just doesn't matter how ahead you are. It's just like the champion is just built for the 1v1. Like he doesn't die when he gets low. And the problem is the fact that when he burns the ghost and flash, it's just impossible to get away from it. It's just literally impossible. You're seeing?
Yeah, definitely impossible to get away from indeed, as Horizon Gaming went for a terrible fight and now are being punished as PGO are just tearing through them here. You see Odd Mitch kiting out the rest of these Horizon squad members. Galio is looking like a carry when he is typically not. My goodness, as the Volibear and Ari are just gonna have to run back towards their base.
Yeah, that fight actually looked much worse than the start for PGO, but just because of ahead this Galio and Ashe are, they were able to kind of turn it back. Charizard goes down in the process, but like you took the dragon, you're on 2 dragons, you already got the dragon stacking going on for yourself, so it's always good. Charizard didn't even have a shutdown, so it's not even that important for them. The fact that they they still traded a kill for that.
And we're not done with the action here. Charizard and Huffzone look to punish this Aatrox once again, and he goes down.
Yeah. They're just not respecting the potential of the ultimates that PGO has. Like just from like the start of the game, they've just like been like pushing a little too far away, overextending in lanes, and Charizard has been really on point with his ultimates to kind of just play off the mistakes of the Horizon Gaming. And now we see the CS gap is not even as much as it was in the top lane. The junglers
but the
are
gold
even
gap.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. And almost the first turret going down in the top lane. I wonder what he's going to finish. He's sitting on 3k gold almost right now. Huffzone in the top lane, so
he may have greeted just a little bit though. His ultimate is up. His Archon flashes, gets the Q3 knocked up onto the Tryndamere here. He's still chasing him. He gets the kill. He will be able to secure that for himself, as he's definitely needed a little bit of gold infusion on this Aatrox here, who has been punished quite heavily so far in this early game.
Yeah. He was playing the lane fairly well in the beginning until Charizard eventually came topside and punished him for how aggro he was trying to play without actually enough vision. We see even after the kill that he got onto the Huffzone is still up 800 gold due to his due to him taking the first turret. I kind of want to see Horizon kind of playing more towards these side lanes as they are right now.
As they are right now, it's Kaiser Uwu. Everfrost goes wide on the Galio, but they will not leave without a kill being claimed. The Resurrect is used on Whole Grain Man, but he uses the ultimate and he's able to get himself some distance between himself and the side of Horizon Gaming here. Well played from Whole Grain Man. Kaiser Uwu, I wonder if his E was down on cooldown still, or like the Alistar could have, headbutt. They could have used some type of CC to interrupt that, and they would have killed him.
Yeah, I think they just didn't expect it, and they were not able to react to it, and that is just huge for the side of PGO because Whole Grain Man has a 300 gold shutdown, and they're already taking the Herald, so like now they get the prio for the Herald. Horizon's bot side play turns out empty, and now they just lose another objective.
Net zero, or net negative, if anything. As you see the teleport arrow coming in here on Kaiser Uwu will be able to live though. Archon is here to back up his team. And Predictive Gaming are just gonna back off for now. Yeah. Bravo, getting a little bit zesty here. Testing the waters.
Yeah,
and nothing's gonna come of it for now. Yeah.
The heal from Scumps barely helped Kaiser to live there. Lived on like maybe 100 HP at best. And like we've seen the same combo over and over again from Whole Grain Man and Surprise, right? Like the taunt into double bomb. That's just a lot of damage at this point in the game for this Ari to tank. Like he's sitting on the Everfrost and Merc Treads, but like even then the Shrelia is being completed, the Rocket Belt also being finished in the mid lane. It's just super hard for him to kind of have an answer for that unless he gets a Spirit Rush in time.
Yeah, definitely hard indeed. And I want to ask you, Sultan, here, as we see objective bounties are now up for Horizon Gaming. 17 minutes into the game here, how can they get back into this game? Like, how can they, stabilize this mid game here before, PGO completely take over the map, since they did have the more skill-heavy composition, but they're ahead already. But I think you might have to answer that question later here, so we might have ourselves a little Drake fight, as Whole Grain Man and Surprise are just wardening off the side of Horizon Gaming here, but they're not even in position right now, as we see the Charm Cleanse coming down from Odd Mitch here, as Kaiser Uwu was trying to kill this Ashe here. He's now punished instead, and he will go down.
Yeah. That whole play was actually really well played from the side of PGO.
We're not done. This combo is deadly. This combo is dangerous. Surprise and Whole Grain Man are P2Ps in a pod, as they are just playing chicken with the side of Horizon Gaming here. And now PGO taking this entire red side quadrant for themselves as they look to get this tier 2 turret in the bot lane.
Yeah. Like that whole play, what I was trying to say was like the whole play from PGO was actually well played. They gave up the dragon, but they also know the only way the Horizon, like for the side of Horizon, can come back into this game is if they force a team fight and lose. So they didn't. They picked up the Herald from the earlier play that Horizon failed in the bot side, so that let PGO to take the Herald, and then the Herald was on Huffzone, so Huffzone didn't come to the team fight. They gave up dragon. They took mid lane tier 1. They took top side. They took a tier 2 turret and an inhib turret.
Oh, they took tier 3?
Yeah, they took tier 2.
Wow, I didn't even notice that. It must have been going on during the fight or something.
Yeah, well, exactly. They were just like trying to stall the backs from the side of Horizon so that Puffzone would be able to get that split push going. And like yes, Horizon was able to pick up a dragon. They didn't pick up any kills. They didn't pick up any shutdowns. And
as the Feather Storm comes out from Scumps here, but Whole Grain Man just does so much damage. I've not seen a Galio solo kill in ADC in a very long time, but that, my friend, right there, that was violence.
That's a Fed Galio. Like he's sitting on 400 gold, not too much, but he is one of the richest players in the game. Well, obviously, Huffstone, after the last topside split push play that he did, he's sitting on 8k, and then after that, his Whole Grain Man sitting at 7,400 gold. He has 10 stacks on his Dark Seal, finished Mythic, sitting on the stopwatch for safety. This is so hard for Scomps to do anything at only 2 items. Like you saw, he burned the Featherstorm, but it was great recognition from Whole Grain Man, holding onto his W, and he was actually able to get the taunt, even though Featherstorm was used from the Xayah.
Yeah, definitely, and I think she used the Blade Caller as well, you know, to like root him into place, but he timed it really well. But we see ourselves another skirmish here in the mid lane between the Tryndamere and the Zilean there. Nocturne is shadowing in the blue quadrant of Horizon Gaming, so they do need to be a bit aware and cognizant of this Nocturne. There are bounties on 4 members of Predictive Gaming Odin right now, Sultan. This is nuts. Horizon Gaming, they need to look for a pick here and try to avoid team fights as much as possible, in my opinion, to try and get some of this bounty gold into their wallets.
Yeah, they need like a miracle team fight. It's just like that's it. Like that's the only thing that they need. Archon face checking into. I think he's dead.
Archon face checking into Huffzone here, but Huffzone not backing down. He wants to fight this Tryndamere here. He will use the Gale Force flash to get it's in range to secure the kill, but we see there's the shutdown as Scomps gets the shutdown onto Charizard here, and now they might be looking for this Baron. They might be looking for some more. They're gonna have to play this carefully though, as they want to try and kill this Galio, but the poke coming in from the Ash, it was just too much, as Jackal will have to smite the Baron to ensure that he lives a bit longer. Predator Galio has been activated. Kaiser Uwu is on the retreat. We see Scomps and Bravo here warding off the Galio though, and that looks to be all from this fight right now. So 1 for 1 in the Baron pit and the bot lane for both sides.
Yeah, the overall the play turns out to be a 1 for 1, but again, Huffzone takes the kill, and then he's also able to take a tier 2. Tier 2 turrets, when you take them alone, is almost worth close to 1.5, 2 kills worth of gold. So it's always a plus. It's a net win for the side of PGO. Like the shutdown that they were able to pick up onto the Charizard was only 150 gold. It's not the end of the world. He's also going to be up for this dragon fight. I think Horizon still has a chance in these team fights if the side of PGO is not coordinated enough.
Yeah, a chance indeed, but how do you get them uncoordinated when you have a... Oh, never hold that thought though, as we see this Charizard just using the Paranoia onto the backline there. Scomps will have to use the Featherstorm. Whole Grain Man is chasing the Xayah out of the team fight. We're seeing Charizard and Surprise here bursting down this Ari and bursting down the rest of Horizon Gaming. They are just getting shredded by the CC of PGO, and this looks like it's gonna be an ace for the side of PGO as they take out the last member of Horizon Gaming here, and they will secure themselves the Infernal Drake as well.
Yeah, the fight actually didn't look that bad in the beginning. We're gonna see it late again. Scomps almost killed Whole Grain Man. He was super low, but Surprise flash igniting to make sure Kaiser dies, and then Archon being left in a 1v4. It's just PGO played this fight really coordinated, and it just kind of paid off. Huffzone didn't even have his Tryndamere ultimate back up, so now they didn't burn that cooldown, so he can still split push freely, and he pushes the bot wave in again. It's just, it's looking like it's a little bit too far gone. Like yeah, the side lane is. I'm so sorry. The side lane is too far gone. Like the Aatrox cannot face the Tryndamere right now. The ultimates have been used really effectively from Charizard and Whole Grain Man, and Oddmitch has been doing a really good job of like just not getting picked, and Scomps.
Yeah, definitely indeed, as Scomps using the Featherstorm here. Scomps is just getting bullied by this Galio Zilean pick here. And Sultan, I think we're gonna see some bans coming out. Bans coming out in game 2 as we have ourselves a slight pause here. I wonder what it could be.
Okay, we're gonna see the replay again.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
We saw like this fight was really well played, I think, especially from Surprise. He used the Zilean ult to like revive the one pick that Horizon was able to get, but then also the Zilean ult just makes it so that the reset that you want to get 48 trucks for the Ari just doesn't happen. So it is really hard for Horizon to actually play this game at this point. They can't get the fast kill onto Tryndamere. They can't get the fast kill onto anyone else because of the Zillion. And when the fight is that extended, this Tryndamere just starts hitting like a truck. It's just so hard.
Yeah, hitting like a truck indeed. I think we're gonna get ourselves. Oh no, I think that's the same replay, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought we were getting a replay of a different fight here, but yeah, it seems I was wrong. Is there still Anna still figuring out what the issue is for the pause here? But go ahead and we can talk about this fight here, Sultan.
This was just like this utilization of Galio.
Galio escape, the great escape.
Yeah. It was probably like 1 second away from like a possible Zaya feathers just being pulled back or like an Alistar
The
kill.
blade caller there, yeah.
Yeah. So that was really well played. The thing is not even picking up the skill. They just committed 3 members here. So they gave up the Herald, and then the next fight with this Herald, Puffstone just like opened up the whole top side, right? So it just doesn't end there. Like these plays from PGO that are giving them a lead is actually snowballing into even bigger leads. Which
Definitely snowballing into. Oh yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No. I just finished.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say yeah, definitely snowballing into bigger leads here, but this is the fight here where it looked like for a second, like you said this fight has started off so bad for the side of PGO, but they managed to turn it around and actually do pretty well. Or am I? Yeah, that was that fight. We are back in game. Thank God that those issues were sorted out, and yeah, we are back here on the live on the Rift here, and let's just take a look at the gold right now. Sultan, you say so? It's about. Oh God, it's very close to a 10k gold lead for the side of PGO here. As we see Charizard, the arrow coming out from Odd Mitch there. They really want to kill this cow, but he's gonna just walk it off. And had ourselves a little bit of a lag there, but spectator delay and whatnot. Just trying to make sure that competitive integrity stays intact. But now we see PGO posturing around this Baron here, and I think they might be looking to bait it out for a fight. I mean, they probably want to fight so bad because they're so ahead and they're so strong. And they, it lessens the chance of a Baron 50-50, right? But they're starting it right now here.
I don't know if it would be a 50-50. It's really hard for Horizon to walk in, especially while the Galio is trying to just push out. And Horizon, like PC Puffstone just like pushing Archon. Archon doesn't even have TP, so they have to kind of give this one up. They're just really behind in gold, and yeah, there's just not much else to say. They're just really behind in gold, and the item lead.
Not much to say indeed, but it looks like they have something they want to say instead, as they decided we want to kill this Tryndamere. The Everfrost goes wide, though, so Spirit Rush is on his back, as Kaiser Uwu will get the kill and the shutdown gold. That's 500 plus some more going into his pockets, which is very good for this Ari, who may be one of the initiators to get his team back into the game here. But there's still plenty of gold on this map. And now, Scomps, you are out of position. Arrow goes wide. Featherstorm comes out. But the taunt is here. The knockup is here. The bomb is there as well. And Zaya goes down. Just very terrible positioning from Scomps there in this, I would say, late mid-game here. I don't know if we're in completely late game just yet. But now, we're not done. As the Paranoia comes out, and Kaiser Uwu will have to use the stasis there to try and keep himself alive a bit longer. It's not enough, though, as Charizard and the squad take him out. They are just running down the rest of this Horizon Gaming squad here, posturing them away from this turret. Whole Grain Man is a whole grain tank. Not even a whole grain tank, because he's not soft indeed. He's totally a statue, as the champion is implied. He is now godlike and just ripping through the side of Horizon Gaming here. Chrono Shift will be used to keep him alive, as Jackal and Scomps are just staring at the tatters of their base, trying to keep this game going a bit longer. And PGO will give them the permission to do so as they back off for the reset.
Yeah. It's just really aggressive plays coming from the side of PGO. We're gonna see a replay. Odd Mitch just slowing down with the auto attacks, and then the bombs coming from Surprise. It's been a problem for the side of Horizon all game. Those zillion bombs, these taunts coming from Whole Grain Man, they haven't really been able to answer those abilities, and it just ends up being really crucial when they were trying to get the lead. Like this Ari being 2-6, Scomps being 1-5, although he's like,
oh my god. This is a disgusting combo. The Galio Predator with the Zillion speed up. And it doesn't even matter who gets the kill, because apparently Zillion does damage anyway with just Shurelia's and the Putrifier there. And now it looks like he's building lasagnas himself. So, yeah, PGO are just... I know they're laughing in their comms, yo. You can't tell me they're not laughing. Like, you are cracking up in comms right now.
I'm pretty sure they're feeling themselves at least. Like, these Zillion bombs, I want to check. Like, one bomb right now is doing 530 magic damage. And, like, when you look, bombs alone has, like, 1500 damage. So, 2 bombs, he doesn't have too much MR. That's basically almost like 1/3, 2/3 of his HP gone, just from the 2 Zillion bombs. That is not even the main damage right now, especially with the Infernal Soul now, and it's just looking really rough.
Oh, maybe Kaiser Uwu playing really hard to try and get this kill onto the Tryndamere here. He will use the Zanyas to ensure his lives a bit longer. Oh, I think he might be able to, but now Whole Grain Man is here to clean him up. And guess who's right behind him? The Zillion, who's gonna back up his mid laner here. He uses the Chrono Shift, flashes away from the Aatrox there. I don't know if that was a good idea. You probably should have let him kill you, as now he's looking to get that kill, but he misses from the speed up. And Whole Grain Man gets the CC onto the Aatrox there. And Archon is down, but Jackal and Bravo are here to clean up the Galio. He will be cleaned up, but Zillion skips away with a sliver of his life, as now Scomps and Odimage are dueling it out. But wait, oh my god, surprise! Surprise! Had a surprise for Jackal there, as there was a Charizard that flew down onto his head, and Scomps and Odimage particularly is trying to clean up this inhibitor turret here, but he is now a lonely Ash with only a Nocturne behind him. He needs to be careful and to ensure he doesn't get picked off here.
Yeah, I think that fight.
Bravo, what are you?
Oh,
Bravo's trying to delay their backs. I think he's just trying to delay Odimage from backing to possibly get a pick, but Charizard being there helped him out, but he did have to pop the ultimate though.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's worth it to like just burn your Unbreakable Veil, because you're gonna need it for the Baron that is coming up shortly. But I think the cooldown on it is not too high, so he should be fine.
It's about a minute and 10 seconds right now.
Yeah.
So
I think that fight looked not bad for us, and just because like they were able to pick up the shutdown onto the Surprise, the shutdown onto Whole Grain Man. The problem there is that Surprise's shutdown went to Jackal, who's building tank, and then Whole Grain Man's 1000 gold shutdown went to Bravo, who's like the person that you don't want to shut down on. So
yeah,
that was really unlucky in that sense. Like those shutdowns being taken almost means nothing. Bravo gets to finish one of his items, but like I don't know if Frostfire saves the game. Like not Frostfire, Frozen Heart saves the game for them.
Yeah, and like you said, I mean, 1000 gold going onto an Alistar in the late game, it's not the greatest. Like, unfortunately, if Kaiser or a Scomps or even or Archon, I would say even Jackal, it would be better to get that shutdown gold onto, because like they still do a lot more damage than what your Alistar's gonna do. But now we see PGO here working on this Baron, and it's just being torn asunder. And yeah, Horizon Gaming are not even going to contest this. Second Baron going over to the side of PGO here, and now they'll be looking for this top inhibitor and mid lane inhibitor as well.
Yeah, once they open 3 inhibs, it's basically going to be GG.
Kaiser. Oh boy. Wait, but he's still alive though. But yeah, Charizard's gonna clean him up. He finally lands an Everfrost root for the first time, I believe, all game. But it doesn't matter. He's cleaned up here. Bravo and the rest of the squad are trying to defend their base as Whole Green Man uses the stasis there, and now he has the res as well. But we see Archon and Tryndamere fighting in the top of our screen. Scott uses the Featherstorm there. He will be able to get the kill onto the Galio as Charizard flashes in and misses the Zaya, but he gets the inhibitor as well. And Hubzone getting a triple kill off screen and just 1v3, or not 1v3, but just decimating the rest of Horizon Gaming there. And game one will go over to PGO here.
That last fight didn't even look that bad. They almost won. Of course, Hobson kind of stalling his death out with the, I think it was Undying Rage from the Tryndamere. So yeah, they just didn't really had an answer. I think the team fights sometimes didn't go as bad as it should have because like we saw ahead Whole Grain Man and like Surprise was compared to the other team, but like they still gave up some kills, which was kind of fine. It wasn't the end of the world, but like the side of Horizon just didn't have an answer for Hubzone in the side lane. Especially Aatrox is not a champion that you would like think that can hold Tryndamere in the side lane. They always like they were forced to send at least 2-3 people to even like get him close to dying. And like when they did that every single time, PGO was doing something on the other side of the map, either taking an objective, either picking off a kill. It was really well played from the side of PGO, kind of knowing how they should have played the game out and executing it pretty correctly.
Yeah, definitely, indeed. Like PGO played that game so well, and honestly, I'm not gonna lie, Horizon Gaming looked a little bit lost. And they didn't look very well coordinated. They were kind of sloppy too. I mean, Scomps got caught out. We saw there in mid lane. Kaiser Uwu also got caught out a few times. And honestly, I'm very curious as to how the game 2 bans are gonna go, because I mean the Xillion Galio combo was not something I expected to see be such an overpowering combo, but it felt like it was, because once the Galio got ahead and then the Xillion was just boosting him up with the Predator. So I've never seen a Galio that strong, in a while. Actually, it was pretty funny, pretty comical.
I think as far as draft goes for the second game, I'm a fan of Red Side. I feel like there isn't really a champion that you can like, oh yeah, we just need to B1 this and then we're gonna win the game. So I feel like Red Side has a lot of prio because you always like get at least like 2 or 3 really really favorable matchups for your champions. And like when it happens like that, like we saw Tryndamere was the counter pick and it worked super well. Like let's say Horizon gets to beat the Red Side this game, PGO goes for the blind pick Tryndamere. Maybe Horizon or maybe Archon is like really likes the Jax Tryndamere matchup where maybe he can actually stop the Tryndamere in the side lane. So we will see. I think Red Side draft will be different from the side of Horizon. I think PGO will not be allowed to have this much global ultimates, like global like team fight potential, while also winning the lanes. I think also like a few things. Daya just opting for the heal instead of the cleanse, while when the enemy team has like an Ash Arrow, the Galio taunt, the Zillion bombs. I'm pretty sure if he had the cleanse, he would have at least lived a few times, like burning his ultimate to 1 CC, then the cleanse to another, and then maybe he would have had a chance to live. Like small things, but I think game 2 will be a little closer than what we had here. But even this game, although it looked really doomed from the beginning, it was a 33-minute game. So,
okay,
it kind of goes back to.
In terms of league gameplay nowadays, is 33 minutes like long anymore? I would say that's average. So, they did do their best to hold on here. So kudos to Horizon Gaming for that, but we'll have to see, how they fare in game 2, as we're going to cut to a short break, but we'll be back for game 2 to see if Horizon can force it or if PGO get that 2-0 and, better seeding for the playoffs here. But we'll be right back, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everyone, as we are here getting ready for Game 2 draft of Predictive Gaming Odin versus Horizon Gaming. And yeah, so Sultan, as we get ready for draft here, which should be starting up very shortly, we have PGO now on the blue side and Horizon on the red side, as you predicted. Once again, so what do you expect to see, or what do you think we're going to see as these
Um,
drafts are coming in hot?
we should see a Nocturne ban, in my opinion. I feel like
Mhm.
a lot of the problems that Horizon had came from the
Yep.
Nocturne being like really effective early on
There
in
it
the game
is.
after the
Oh
ultimates.
my
Yeah,
goodness.
like switching that like Warwick ban for Galio and Nocturne.
Hmm.
Now this gives PGO Thresh or Warwick if they want to opt in for it.
Correct.
So we're gonna see if they go for one of those picks. They go for the
Oh,
Warwick,
and they first picked the Warwick on blue side. Oh my god. Let's get it.
the Volibear answer. Not bad. I think Volibear wasn't too bad last game. I think he just for side of PGO just tracked him really well, and
Hmm.
it eventually led up to him not being able to do a lot. If and a lot of it was the Ash, like those hawk shots
Yeah.
just makes it so hard for a jungler to play the game and like path without the enemy team knowing what you're doing. So maybe PGO can opt in for it. Ash is a really safe pick. It got buffed, I think, a couple patches ago,
It's been
and
it's
it's
been
been
buffed
really
like
strong.
2-3 patches in a row now, I believe.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah, there it is. Yeah, there it is indeed. As we saw Horizon R1, the Volibear, and R2 Jin actually. So that's a very interesting pick to me because we haven't really seen Jin a lot in the meta. He's still a pretty good pick. It's just he hasn't been priority because I mean, like Zeri is open, Jinx is open. There's the S tier picks right now that are still available to play, and I find it very hilarious, and I'm very curious as to. I think I know what PGO might do, so I'm gonna just predict it here and see if it happens. We're gonna get to that Castle and Pig in just a second, but they've got the Vygar there, so that's probably gonna be a Predator Vygar. If Horizon Gaming is smart, I think you ban Zillion here
oh yeah, it's like
because
with the
I think they're
Warwick.
trying to run that back
Yeah,
just with a different champion.
yeah, I feel like Veigar is like not as strong as Galio in a sense that like it's
There it
not
is.
as easy as to pick. The Zillion I think worked really well. I think this game it would have been harder to do anything, especially with the Warwick, right? Like the Warwick runs at you, he's super tanky, super sustaining, and like once you kill him, Zillion just revives him. It would be really hard to
Yeah.
play. On the other hand, the Kassadin pick, as you said, it is actually a decent counter pick to Veigar. You can't really like pick him off. Like you put the cage down, he just ults out. It's
Hmm.
super like easy for Kassadin to like get out when the Veigar is around him. It scales super well. It can almost match Veigar's scaling. Of course, like Kassadin can only scale until level 16. Veigar is an
Yeah.
infinitely scaling champion, so if the game goes too long, he's gonna eventually have like 1.2k AP. That's how
Yeah.
Veigar works. But I think the reasoning behind the Jin pick
Mhm.
is Jin is a really comfort pick for scomps, and they're not really playing towards bot side. They're usually having the weak side bot with
Mhm.
like Bravo and these champions such as like Alistar that can possibly roam. Last game they were able to shut that down really easy with surprising making the first move out of the bot lane. But
Yeah.
like yeah, again, like we see the Leona, it can roam pretty easily with the Woolly Bear, and I think they have to just be more proactive. Like that's it. Like they just have to be more proactive.
Is Leona proactive enough for you?
Yeah, exactly. Well, they were not really proactive with the Alistar, so it's kind of a playstyle thing.
Yeah.
If their support is willing to or like good at roaming. Oh,
Oh my goodness, the Tarek is locked in here for PGO. Wow. And now this should be our blind top laner here for once again Huff Zone there. Super top zone. We'll see what pick he picks here in just a bit as we have about 10 seconds left. for the top laner of PGO, and it will be the set.
Interesting.
Why?
I think one of the first interesting is Tarek. He's basically saying, okay, I might not be able to revive my teammates, but I'm gonna make them invulnerable to you.
Invulnerable, correct, yeah.
And like Set also works really well as a disengage tool and an engage tool if you need him be. Again, really high CC comp coming from PGO, but this time I think Horizon has a little bit better matchups, not bad scaling, and much more CC. I think with the Leona, with Jin, with Volibear, they should be able to go for easier picks. The enemy team is not Zillion. Like, Tarek ultimate is fairly high cooldown compared to the Zillion ult. And, like, Tarek wants to be in the front line. He can't, like, he has this, obviously, the CC and the heals. But, like, Zillion is just so irritating to play against. When he's just, like, speeding up the whole team with Shirelias, like permas, like, he can slow you down, too. That's a really awkward thing about that champion. So this time, I think Horizon has a better chance to play the game overall.
Yeah, we got to thank Bjergsen for the Zillion really gaining prominence. I mean, because like it's not that he was nerfed or anything; he was just there, collecting dust. But then Bjergsen started playing it a lot, and everyone's like, "Wait a minute, wait a minute, Zillion."
This is actually fun.
Yeah, but I wanted to definitely talk about, we see Archon here again on the Aatrox there, so any thoughts about that? I feel like we didn't really talk about it too much. Actually, as a matter of fact, the top side of PGO here are on the same champions. We have the Volibear Aatrox once again for the top lane and jungle here.
Yeah, I think Aatrox was working fine. Like, he was able to push a really good CS lead early on into the game, but eventually, I think Charizard really did a really good job of like kind of making sure that Aatrox doesn't get out of hand and getting the lead eventually to Huff Zone to carry the game. So this game, Set still strong side laner, but it's not as snowbally as Tryndamere gets. On the other side, Set has better team fighting than Tryndamere. So I think PGO will have better team fighting, a little bit less power in the side lane, but I think this game, thinking that like Horizon Gaming doesn't have a side laner either, like the side laner that can like permanently push lanes, it's going to be like coming down to these team fights and how well they're played. So I think both Aatrox and Set are like similar to each other. Set just soaks up a lot of damage with the facebreaker into the haymaker. It's just like a lot of shields and all that. So, man, Aatrox, if you already know, one Gore Drinker going back to full HP combo. Super irritating to play against, but we're going to see how it goes.
Yeah, we definitely are going to see, and I wanted to talk about what was I going to say here? It was something about the Set Aatrox matchup. I can't recall verbatim what it was. You know what? If it comes back to me, we'll have time to talk about it in game as well. I did want to talk about the Charizard on this Warwick, as he has played it before. I don't remember when, but I feel like I've seen him on the pick, and he did pretty well. And I mean, I believe you said it was also a comfort pick for him as well. So we should definitely see some heel cut coming out from the side of Horizon Gaming here, and hopefully we don't see Warwick like get out of hand, because it is pretty disgusting what that champion can do if he snowballs a lead,
He's just like a dog running behind you at 500 movement speed with Divine Thunder ready to bite you. So
and but I wanted to ask you once again about the Kassadin here. Like, I feel like we didn't really talk about the Kassadin. We're not giving him his justice, or, kind of throwing him some shade right now. But because he is such a pivotal pick here, like it's such a pick, like you have to wait till level 16. But he's just like Kill, like you wait till level 16, and then the champion is truly online. So what are we gonna see here from Kaiser on this champion in the early to mid game? We definitely will probably see him mid game in the side lanes to get as much
Yeah.
experience as possible.
As someone who played with Kaiser a fair amount of games,
Mm-hmm.
I know if for anyone who doesn't know in the chat, I was a previous jungler for the team of Horizon. I was the first jungler of the team, and like every time Kaiser picked Kassadin, I think like the team overall has like 80% win rate with the champion overall. Like he plays it really well. He knows the champion really well,
He
and as
knows
far
the
as I
different
know,
matchups.
yeah, he knows the matchups really well, and I'm pretty sure Veigar Kassadin is a favorite matchup for Kassadin, especially
Post
after
six
the
though,
level
right?
6. Well, post 6, but like a Kassadin can also help pick Veigar off. Like the slow from the E is actually
Mm-hmm.
like unexpectedly high, and a Volibear ganking on a overextended Veigar, that can always like just be a kill, right?
Okay.
So you'll never know. But after 6, Kassadin just starts kind of taking over the game, and once
Yeah.
the level 16 power spike hits in, that's when like it gets really
Mm-hmm.
disgusting to play against
Yeah.
Kassadin. Those ultimates just really deal a lot of damage and really low cooldown.
So Sultan, my question for you before we cut to break here is, who do you think wins game 2? Because we didn't really get to do series predictions, so I don't feel like it's fair if we do series predictions now since we're already going kind of game by game. So game 2, who are you favoring?
I'll say we're gonna see Horizon win, and this is solely just me believing in Kaiser's Kassadin. Nothing
All
else.
right. Alrighty there. Well, you heard it here from Sultan here, former jungler of Horizon Gaming. He thinks they're going to take game 2 and send it to a game 3. But we'll have to find out here shortly as we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. You don't want to miss it. Welcome back, everyone, as we are here for game 2 of Horizon Gaming versus Predictive Gaming Odin. And we see PGO with the 5 stack here once again. I mean, as you should. You have the Vigar, you have the Warwick, you have the Tarek. That's a lot of CC that I'm sure someone doesn't want to walk right into. But Horizon Gaming, just with the standard 5-man lineup here. And Sultan, let's talk about Runes and Summoners once again. And oh, hold that thought though. Oh,
That was cool.
PGO gets spotted out though by the Leona there. So they're just gonna drop a ward in that blue buff and back off. All right, Sultan, let's talk about Runes and Sums again before anything else happens.
I think Scumps at least this time paid the respects to the Ashe and like Warwick, Tarek, a lot of CC. He took the cleanse this time. Good choice. He went for the Dark Harvest. It means that he wants to be more aggro. I think a lot of people take mostly Fleet just because of like the extra sustain. Also, the movement speed kind of lets you sometimes run out in a situation. If you're kiting, it might help. But he went for the Dark Harvest. It's a more aggressive summoner, not summoner spell, rune choice. Everything else is pretty normal.
Alrighty, well that's good to know and that's good to hear. As you know, we're seeing both of our junglers here starting at their respective red buffs, with Charizard skipping over his Raptors and going what looks like to be maybe Wolves and then Blue. And we see Jackal. Oh, by the way, for our viewers, I meant to mention this in Game 1. Jackal was adapt for Horizon Gaming. He just name changed. So, not a new jungler, just, you know, same new skin, or same jungler, new skin, just with a different name. So, there's that, just as a little tidbit of information. But, yeah, we see both of them pathing towards the opposite sides of the map here. So, we should not see any contest for either scuttle here. And we're just going to keep our eyes on this set Aatrox matchup here, as Archon does have a little bit of the early CS advantage.
Yeah, and he's right now pushing in towards the set. The wave is in the middle right now, but he has more minions. So it is just a possible gank opportunity for Charizard. We're seeing Jackal on the ground right now and Huffzone trading.
Trading indeed, as Archon and Huffzone getting back and forth here. Q1 and Q2 hit. Q3 goes wide though. But now Charizard is here behind the Aatrox. He activates the Bloodlust there. Gets the Q Fear onto the Aatrox. First blood going over to her PGO jungler there, but there is a trade back in the mid lane as well, as Wholegrain Man goes down. So 1-for-1 for both squads, and that's a pretty fair and even trade, I would say, indeed.
Yeah, both
for the teams at least, not the champions.
Oh yeah, well, both teams actually getting at least successful first ganks. This is what I was kind of talking about with Vigar. Like, the cage doesn't really give you 100% safety. If you're too overextended, the slow comes down from Kaiser, the point click stun from Jackal's Volibear, and you're dead meat as a really squishy Veigar. Oh, also, when you asked me, I didn't really talk about it, but SVC Wholegrain Man took the Predator rune again. So
yeah,
I'm assuming after 6 he would start to roam more, because 3-6 Veigar doesn't really have too much damage, especially in the early game. After 6, the low HP targets are basically executes for you, so that's another thing. Archon crashing a huge wave here.
Yeah, pressuring Huffzone indeed quite a bit, and you know, he does have a ward in the river there, so he will be able to get some vision onto the Charizard here, who is now in the mid lane. Gets the fear onto Kaiser Uwu, gets a bit of a more slash here, but nothing's gonna come of it at this time, and they're just gonna back off as well, because Jackal was there to support his mid laner.
Yep. He shows up just to make sure Kaiser is not going down. Kaiser is getting close to his level 6. This time, I don't know if it's about the Darksteals. Both games, Darksteel mid laners have been getting the first kills in the mid lane. I guess it's just the type thing of commitment. But Darksteel gets going for Kaiser. That's what you want. Kassadin can't snowball pretty fairly. Although the champion really like wants to hit this level 11, level 16 power spikes. When he's ahead, it's really hard to play against him, especially as Veigar, because like your cage doesn't really stop him from going onto you, and especially with a Volibear on the enemy team, you can get dove in mid lane. Like, and like mid lane is probably the safest lane to be in, but even with the comp, even with Veigar, even with being mid lane, when you're against Horizon's mid jungle duo, we might always have the pressure of getting dove, and we see Spravo moving mid.
And I also want to point out, Sultan here, that okay, they're just skirmishing. We can continue talking. So I wanted to point out that Kaiser Wu is actually. Oh well, never mind. As we see HubZone using the showstopper there to just suplex Jackal away and ensure that nothing else would come of that skirmish there. Okay, so back to what I was saying before we get interrupted again. Kaiser Wu is actually keeping up in CS with the Veigar there, which you typically don't see into melee range matchups. So also kudos to him, and I think he's probably ahead in gold because of that kill as well. Yeah, he's 300 gold ahead right now as well on the Veigar there.
Yeah. Kaiser should be careful.
Okay. He has the Rift Walker. He's fine.
Yeah. Like HubZone was also in the river, so yeah, like right now it's super hard for PGO to kind of do anything to Kaiser unless like Charizard gets level 6, and then after he's level 6, Warwick's ultimate that suppresses the enemy team. So if this is the enemy champion that he uses it against, so if he's able to land it on Kaiser, he can actually burst him down pretty fast. Kassadin, not the tankiest champion, so yeah, especially with the Veigar being gone. yeah, Primordial Burst just like bursts you down really good when you're really low HP. So we're seeing
that item removal still hurts me. I'm not gonna lie. Like I like to roll it. No, seriously, like, you know, it was such a good item for like some of the squishier mages and whatnot, and it gave you everything. It gave you health, it gave you AP, it gave you mana. Like,
I think it was a little too good, maybe.
He says a little bit too good.
I think that was the problem, but we see like both mid laners kind of taking the tiers, so like they're both going for the scaling. Like they're gonna get online around like 20 minutes. But when they're going to be online, these other champions will be like, oh yeah, Kassadin is such a broken champion, guys. How do we play against? And even the Wire, we all know.
Yeah, I was about to say Veigar too with the Primordial Burst there. Oh my god, it's HubZone! Oh, it looked like he was trolling at first as he flashes behind Archon to get the suplex near the turret, but Archon will trade his flashback in return to ensure that nothing else comes of it. Well played from both of these top laners here, wow.
Yeah. Actually, it was really good play from HubZone, because like he saw the minion dying and then went for the flash ult. If it wasn't like if there was still minions under the turret, I'm pretty sure Archon could have maybe killed, but he was also taking the turret aggro, so he would have died if he didn't use the flash. We see Jackal coming in. Oh, I think they might.
Jackal coming in as Horizon or Bravo gets the Zenith Blade Solar Flare onto Odin there, but the Terrico ensuring that his team members aren't vulnerable for a bit longer. Scomps is gunning down this Warwick here as he gets the 4th shot onto Charizard there, so his life will be claimed, but surprise kills Jackal in retribution as well. So 1 for 1 in the bot lane, and both bot laners live as Bravo's flash goes wide, and surprise, they're getting the stun onto the Jhin as Archon and HubZone are fighting underneath this turret here, and just lots of action coming out from the rest of the Rift, but nothing come of it besides the kills we saw in the bot lane.
Yeah, actually, that's a net win, I would say, in
which side?
For Horizon, I think. Because on one side, Sconce was able to pick up the kill. He didn't burn any sums. They did eventually burn Bravo's flash later into the fight for a little bit greedy pick. But on the other side, Aldrich burned flash, cleanse. Like they almost burned every single ultimate. And like Sconce didn't use anything. Sconce got the kill, and the kill went to surprise on the other side for PGO. The thing is, you don't want gold on Tarek. Like gold on. Let's say gold on Zillion works. It's not the end of the world. It actually works decently
Yeah,
well. But on Tarek, like, you don't really need the gold. You don't really.
that's just embarrassing.
Like, my opinion, Tarek would be a fine champion even if he didn't
Oh
an item.
no. Yeah, I don't even need to comment on that unless more comes out of it. We saw what happened. Archon was just caught out here. But Kaiser Ooh and Whole Grain Man running for his life. Will flash over the wall, but Kaiser does not give a damn. He looks like this Cassin is going to get the triple kill here, and he does. Does he? Yeah. He does?
Impressive.
Oh, no, Scouts got it. Okay.
Yeah. As long as Bravo doesn't get it, it's a win for Horizon. It was interesting because, like, PGO went for the dragon. They picked it up, but, like, they're just giving up more and more kills to this Kassadin, and
Ooh.
I don't know if this is good. Like,
And they just got bullied off the Rift Herald here as Pete Horizon Gaming said, "That's not your lunch. Give me that. That's mine now." And they are just having a goon squad here as Bravo now walks face first into an Ash, Warwick, Tarek, and a Vigar, but I think they got a bit too big for their britches. You're gonna see Kaiser take the Hex Gate there, and he's gonna get out the heck out of Dodge. And now Horizon Gaming punished for their arrogance.
yeah, that was just overextension coming from Horizon. There was no need to go for that play. You picked up their ult for free. You picked up kills on the bot side, so you don't really need to pressure that. Like, luckily, the guys that died were like the support and the jungler, so not really any shutdowns. Scumps was farming in bot side. He's currently up, like, let me check. He's up like 1.4k gold up compared to Oddmitch right now. He's sitting really fine. Also, Kaiser being up 800 gold. Oh.
Yeah, Kaiser being 800 gold, but I don't think that's gonna matter right now as Jackal and Archon just take out Huff Zone here. And now, once again, Archon having himself a... Oh, he's still about 100 gold behind the set there, but actually both the top laner and the jungler are behind in gold in opposition to their counterparts right now. So that kill does get them a bit more closer in range as this Rift Herald will be launched here, and this first brick should be going over to the side of Horizon Gaming. So we're seeing a much better game coming out from them already as we see the curtain call coming out from the Jhin there as the Root and Q from Kaiser Uwu will pick up this Ashe. So we're seeing a much better proactive game coming out from Horizon, what they should have been doing in game one. So this is way better than what we had in the first game. Yeah. But I don't think we're done with the action here, Sultan. Sorry. As we saw Charizard and Surprise here posturing, looked like they were gonna fight. But I think we're good now. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you talk, so that way I can take a little bit of a break.
Yeah, I think in game one, the Nocturne was a really big part of like Horizon not being able to pull these plays. Like, Warwick is working right now. It's 3-1 and 2, really strong. But like Nocturne just having the pressure of the ultimate from like the half of the map away, you just can't really go for a place easily. But like now with Warwick, like Warwick is a much more predictable champion. His ultimate is still like an engage tool, but not as big and like as crucial as the Nocturne.
They are. Well, Oddmitch, it looked like he was looking for it, but his ult's not even up right now. I mean, it's gonna be up in about maybe 10 seconds here. But they're looking as Warwick is here. Charizard is here. Oh, Scompsy, you're out of position, my friend. We'll have to Gale Force forward. Warwick just ultimate forward, but he misses, and now we get the ultimate out from Surprise there. Invulnerability for the side of PGO, but flashes are being blown as Kaiser Uwu is trying to claim the kill onto Oddmitch there. He will not be able to, and now the fight is being turned on Horizon's head as they will be sent off into the sunset. Goodbye, Leona. The sun does not set on you anymore. It sets on Mount Targon instead.
Yeah.
A little bit of lore reference there.
That was a really good reaction play coming from PGO. Oddmitch's Crystal Arrow just came back when Kaiser tried to ult in, and like they were able to CC him down. Unluckily, again, shutdown went to Surprise, but they were still able to pick up Scumps and Bravo, and both of those kills going towards Veigar. That was much needed kills for Whole Grain Man. He's been behind almost all game, and now he caught up to Kaiser Now he has 300 gold shutdown, so he has to be careful about about his positioning, because if he gets picked, that's going to be a lot of gold funneling into Horizon this time. But this is really good play coming from PGO, bringing back the gold lead to close to only 700 gold.
Yeah, close to 700 gold indeed. This game is way closer than it was in game one, which, you know, as a caster, I'm very happy for, because, you know, game one was it could have been, game one could have been well done, played well as well, but they just didn't execute it well at all. As Kaiser Uwu getting the Riftwalker there, Everfrost onto the Charizard here. Charizard not giving a damn, ultimates forward, but now will be punished instead as the Solar Flare locks him up under the tower. The Curtain Call is being used to just ward off the side of PGO here, but they will not leave without Retribution as well. And Dragon will be claimed by Jackal here, and we have ourselves a Hextech Soul. Oh, that was the Hextech first Soul.
Yeah.
First Hextech Drake. Sorry. Claimed by Horizon Gaming. It was already Hextech Soul. I missed that earlier. But they will get the third Drake of the game, ensuring that PGO does not have Soul Point here. And now Bravo just blown up by the Primordial Verse from the Vigar there. A bit too cocky, and gotta be more aware of your positioning there, my friend.
Yeah. I think they could have traded Puffstone back. Just the Deadly Flourish missing from Scomps, so yeah, Puffstone gets to get out of the turret range and gets out safe. They're gonna pick up this mid turret too. For the first time I think in this game, PGO is finally ahead in gold, but again, like 1k gold difference between the supports are the main reason for this. The mid laners are even, junglers are even. There's a 400 gold lead for Puffstone in the top lane. But there's a 1k, almost 1.3k gold lead between Scomps and Oddmitch right now. So, and Kaiser just hit level 11, another power spike for him. So, I think this gold lead might be like a
Deceptive
one. Yeah, Deceptive.
Okay.
Like Archon.
Ours Oddmitch does land the air onto the Archon here. The Showstopper comes out, and then, oh my goodness, it was a gang beatdown from the side of PGO as they just destroyed the Aatrox there. Kaiser Uwu tried to kill the Vigar, but instead he was tricked, and his life will be claimed by Set here instead, who teleported in to help out his mid laner there. And now that gold lead is still only about 1k.
Yeah. Good plays from PGO. Like, I think especially Puffstone realizing that Hologram was in a bit of a bad situation, burning his TP, but picking up the kill on Kaiser, making sure this Kaiser is not getting out of hand. He is now like standing 6.4k gold, 800 gold above Archon, and they've been like doing a really good job of like picking Archon off. I think both games he's been like overextending a lot against this Ashe, against this like the jungle picks that can get to him pretty fairly easy. So yeah, I think it's a really bad showing for Archon until now in these two games. But this game, they have win cons. Like this Gaston although died twice now, he's still sitting 4 kills strong. He's still decently strong. It's almost 7k gold, 200 gold behind Veigar, but he can pick it up. It's like one turret, you pick it up, it's gone. One more kill, the gold lead is gone. I want to see what they're going to be able to do with Scomps' gold lead, because although in the bot side.
Ooh, Kaiser Uwu landing the Everfrost. Holgrave's man, the Everfrost also goes. No, it doesn't go wide as he used it to root the Jackal there, but it doesn't matter as he will not get out, and the shutdown will be given over to the Kassadin, who was given a 400 gold bounty with that shutdown kill. So he is just getting stronger and stronger, but his Dark Seal only has 2 stacks on it now, though, as he did go down earlier, and his tier is maxed out.
Yeah. And they were able to pick up the mid lane tier 2 turret, which in my opinion is the most important turret in this game, other than Nexus turrets, because taking that turret, while I was
As
saying
we
that.
we see another gang fight in the top lane here. As Archon just goes down once again. Oh my goodness. PGO are definitely a hit mob, just not caring how many people it takes to put down this Aatrox here.
Yeah.
And now they look to claim this tier 2 turret. But Horizon Gaming are making a play on the tier 1 turret of mid lane here. Kaiser, you're going to have to be very careful.
Yep. I think he's out. He's fine.
Yeah, he's fine.
I'm not sure if they can keep pushing this. Archon reset. Archon is back up. This would be pretty risky for them. It's really deep for them to go for. But in general, they were able to pick up 2 turrets from top, 2 turrets from mid, thinking that the tier 1 and the tier 2 in both top and mid lane. But I think they're going to give up the dragon, which will give the second dragon to Horizon. The gold lead is not that high, although they were able to pick.
Oh my goodness, Charizard gets the ultimate onto Kaiser Uwu, who does rift walk forward. He's trying to get out. He will be able to, as the ultimate from Tarek comes out here. And now the side of PGO are just warding off this Horizon Gaming here, as we did. Someone burned Flash. Scomps burned his Flash, correct, to ensure that he did not get locked up in the event Horizon there from the Vigor.
Yep.
And Drake was claimed over by Jackal instead. And now we still have ourselves about a 1k gold lead in favor of PGO here. So the game is still very much, I want to say it's pretty balanced right now in terms of tempo.
Yeah.
Or what would you say, Sultan?
Yeah, I think it's pretty balanced. I think like Scomps and Bravo, they were both like forced to burn the Flash there. It was a good try from the side of PGO. And now Scomps not having his Flash against this high CC team from PGO, and like playing a champion like Jin, but like your mobility is solely like relying on your.
And he's super low on mana, so he won't even like have much abilities to spam, you know?
Yeah.
Look at that.
If he picks up this river fruit, maybe they should probably give it to him, but I don't know if he's going to be able to. They're setting up the bear, and PGO is not too far away. Oh, they have double TP.
Okay, he picked it up. Okay, he picked up the fruit.
They have double TP.
They're gonna be sussed out though from the Ash arrow here.
Oh,
double TP, correct, from Huff Zone and Whole Grain Man. So let's just see. Oh, it is being used. Oh my goodness, Huff Zone is on the flank at the red buff here. His arrow comes out. It does land onto the Volibear. Charizard is looking. Whole Grain Man is looking, and the Showstopper comes out from the Huff Zone as we get ourselves a fiesta in the jungle here. Archon is in the middle of the entire PGO squad, just using these Qs to tear through the entire squad of PGO, and now they're gonna run down the Vigor here. They're gonna run down Surprise. Bravo and Jackal are still alive. Archon is just using these Qs to ensure that Huff Zone and the rest of PGO cannot do any damage. The CC from this Aatrox is just dominating and domineering. He is getting himself on a killing spree here, and Huff Zone running for his life, as he will be the only survivor left, as they forced themselves into that choke point and just got dominated by this Volibear Aatrox combo here. And now Archon will clear out the mid lane. Jackal just getting some of his jungle camps here, and Drake will be up in another 2.5 minutes as both sides will reconvene for perhaps another Baron dance.
Yeah, and like we're seeing the replay. Like
seeing the replay now, yeah, sorry.
yeah. Like we saw in the replay, it was just like such a fiesta. Both top laners being just like using their sustain to just take over this team fight. It looked really doomed in the beginning for Horizon.
Yeah.
4 people being caught up in the event Horizon coming from the Wagar, and then like Huff Zone being able to ult into the 4. It was like, I was like, oh, okay, this is GG here. But somehow Horizon was able to turn the fight. They actually went 3-2. No, 4-3.
No, 4 to
4 to 3.
I don't.
I think Bravo and Archon.
4 to 3 according to production.
Yeah,
Thanks, production. MB with the great stats. Quick stats.
Okay. It was 4-3, so it wasn't worth for Horizon in the end. Oh, Charizard yoinks it. Yep. That was just a really stressful team fight just to watch. It was super.
It really
fun.
was.
It kind of shows how like these team comps are kind of even. Like as soon as the Taric ult runs out, the team is really squishy for PGO.
It's open season on them as soon as that Taric ult runs out.
Yeah. So if they can finish out the team fight while the Taric ultimate is on, it's going to be like a clean sweep from them in the team fight. But Horizon prioring the Baron now, it's not Soul for PGO. So I'm not sure if they want to just like give Baron just to get to Soul point. Cassidy is in the mid lane. They don't do this fast.
They don't do it fast indeed, because it is a Jhin and an Aatrox that are your main damage deals, and a Cassidy that are your main damage deals. But now, whole Gray Man caught out here as the Solar Flare will root him infinitely into place, as we see Charizard using the Infinite Duress there onto the Cassidy. The Cosmic Radiance coming out from Surprise here to ensure his team stays a bit alive a bit longer, but it's not gonna matter as HuffZone uses the Showstopper there to his own demise, and now you have a Cassidy that is running down Odd Mitch, who is stunned up and rooted by Scomps there, and Charizard and Surprise are the only members remaining on the side of PGO here. And ladies and gentlemen, and Surprise here catching out Archon, who was a little bit out of position. We see the TB from Whole Gray Man coming out here, but the Event Horizon does go wide, but they do ignite the Aatrox here, and his life will be claimed. But I think Horizon Gaming will get this Baron, get out of dodge, but the third Drake will go over to PGO as well for their loss of this Baron. And Sultan, I think we might be getting a replay here pretty soon, so get ready for that.
Yeah, I think that was really unnecessary from Archon to go for that. It was just like, you have the shutdown. You need to be careful about who you give the shutdown towards. And like 4-man, your team is on Baron. The enemy team has the Warwick and the Taric up. Like, you're strong, yes, but you burned your ultimate. You burned the world ender, so you're not gonna be as sustaining as you are normally. So it's like just almost like an int play, and just gives the shutdown and basically the dragon to the side of PGO, and like that shutdown went to Wygar. It's like, it's not the support, it's not the jungler, it's the carry that PGO is trying to like funnel gold into. So
245 stacks, by the way.
Yeah, he is getting strong. He's like slowly getting there. 700 AP. He's only 2 items in. Like, it's 2 items in, 700 AP on Veigar, almost 3.5 items in on Kassadin, 350. So like, that's
what is Kassadin building next, by the way? Because he has the Glacial Buckler there. Would that be the Frozen Heart, maybe?
Yeah, the Frozen Heart works well. He has the Seraph, so he gets the value out of that. In general, it's a really strong item right now.
Hold that thought though, Sultan. I'm gonna have to cut you off, as Jackal will have to use the ultimate there to get out of the Event Horizon, as they want to catch out this Aatrox here, as they realize his CC and lifesteal is just too much for them to handle in a team fight. The Cosmic Radiance is now down, as Archon is in the middle of the entire squad here, but Whole Gray Man just blows up the Aatrox. Bravo will give his life over as well, and now Jhin and Volibear are gonna have to run for the hills, as Horizon Gaming played that fight not to the best of their ability and was just quite uncoordinated and messy. They didn't allow this Aatrox to maximize his AoE to his full potential, and now PGO are looking to claim this inhibitor turret here, possibly the inhibitor as well.
I think that fight was like, I think HuffZone just won the team fight for his team. His ultimate into 4 people. If you're gonna see it in replay, the fight starts out well, the good Taric ultimate coming in, but like the set ultimate coming in onto 4 people, and then him using the Facebreaker to stun 4 people, and then using the Haymaker to kill all of them. Yeah, we're gonna
there it is.
Now. Yep, we're gonna see
Oh
the
my
full play
goodness.
now. Like, the fight starts in. Charizard is overextended in 4 people. He dies really fast, but like the ultimate just comes in from HuffZone it's just like it just seals the deal. It's like you just can't
Yeah.
fight into it when you already burned most of your crucial cooldowns.
Yeah, definitely. Like, and there it is. Like, there's the showstopper, face breaker, haymaker. Oh my goodness! And it just blows up the entire side of Horizon Gaming. So yeah, Hub Zone, Super Top Zone, definitely playing that set, piloting it very well indeed. 5-2 and 8. Only 188 CS on it. No gold bounty. Actually, the gold bounty is on Whole Grain Man right now currently. But Sultan here. Wait. Horizon Gaming are still 1,000. Actually, Horizon Gaming are now 1,000 gold ahead of PGO here. Even though that fight in the temple now feels like it's in PGO's favor. So, what do we? What's the map state right now? Like for both of our teams, who would we say has tempo?
I think it's PGO. They're sitting on the soul point. Like if they pick up the Hextech Soul, it's gonna be really hard for the side of Horizon to play the game at all. Especially like this Veigar just keeps scaling. Finish the third item, finish Zonia's, which like they already have the Cosmic Radiance coming from the Taric, which will stall out a lot of time. Like with the Zonia's, it's gonna be really hard to kill this Veigar alone.
Bravo needs to be careful here. See the curtain call coming up. Oh, Bravo doesn't care. Solar Bear lands onto the back line of Oh Green Man Surprise and the rest of PGO. And now the Aatrox is in here with his AoE and lifesteal. He gets the kill 3 onto Surprise there. Surprise! Our Charizard will take out the Volibear though, as Kaiser Uwu now gets caught out. Infinite Duress locks him down, and the Cassidon is just taken out and blown up by the side of PGO. Archon, Jackal, and Leona are left. They are still looking. Can they stall out the side of PGO here and ensure that they don't get this Dragon Soul? Charizard is 1v1ing the Aatrox here. The lifesteal of a Warwick versus the lifesteal of an Aatrox. Who's gonna win? And I think we know the answer is Charizard just claims the kill onto Archon here. He's now on a killing spree. 7-4-2. He's not done. He's looking for Bravo. He's gonna get it as well. Double kill going over to the jungler of PGO as we see Hubzone and Whole Grain Man securing the the Hextech Soul for PGO as well. And now they have their prize. They're clearing out these jungle camps and backing off. And now Baron looks to be next on the menu.
Yeah. I think this game is kind of getting out of hand. Hextech Soul is probably one of the strongest souls in the game. Especially when you're ahead. It's like, it just makes it so hard for the enemy team to kite. This Warwick is super strong right now. Like when he gets to stack the Sunfire in the team fight, like no one can basically fight him. It's like he just does way too much burn damage. He has the heal cut. He has healing in his own kit, so it's almost really hard, almost impossible for Horizon
and
to
we see no heal cut either from Horizon Gaming right now as well. So they're not tearing through this Warwick through the set or even through the Taric heals at all right now. So Volley has a Thorn Mail.
Volley and Leona, but it's like they will do the heal cut, but I think the healing is at a point where I don't know, it's not gonna matter because they still have the Taric heals, they still have the Gore Drinker from set, and like even if they're not healing, they're still super tanky. And like they don't have DPS. The side of Horizon just doesn't have the DPS. They have Jin, but
yes, Kaiser and Whole Grain Man fighting. Oh, and he just blows up Kaiser Uwu. So he is no longer on the rift here as the Veigar gets the ultimate there. Automich using the stun onto the Jin here, who will cleanse it away. Bravo's getting pulled by the set here, who ultimates the Leona into the back line. But Archon and the rest of Horizon Gaming are going down. The game is sunsetting onto them, and I think Predictive Gaming Odin will be taking game 2 here. The 2-0 will be going over to PGO here, and they will secure themselves the higher seed for the playoffs here. GG PGO.
Yeah, GG's. They really played better. They just played better. They team fought better, and I think game 2 looked much better for Horizon. At least they had some things going for them. especially the Kassadin, I think, worked in the early game somehow really well, especially in the early game. The Jin was super strong, but they eventually fumbled some fights where they were not able to finish out the kills, and it eventually ended up as them losing team fights. And especially the later, like the last 2-3 fights, they lost
Mhm.
one, they gave the soul point. They lost one,
Yeah.
they gave the soul, and then that soul translated into Baron, and then after the Baron and Hectic soul is taken, it's really hard to just defend the game because you're not going to start win the team fights. This set, I think Healthzone on set played really good, like especially in the team fights. The one that probably kind of feel not field.
Mhm.
My English is just getting the better side of me, but it just
Felt.
sealed the deal. Sealed the deal.
Oh, seal the
Okay,
deal.
I
Gotcha.
got it. Sealed the deal. Like his face breakers, his
Mhm.
showstoppers were really on point in these team fights, and I think another praise should go to Holgrain, man. I think both games, especially on the Galio, he just won V9. Like Galio game, surprised in him. They just took over the game. There
Yeah.
wasn't really anything for like Horizon to do. And game two, he was playing Vegar. He did go behind, but then he just kept like doing what he needed to do. Just put these event horizons down. Just make sure Horizon is not getting the team fights as they
Mhm.
want. And eventually he got to a point where he was just one-shotting Kaiser.
Yeah, whole grain man and the side of PGO playing their team compositions very well indeed, and playing it also from a goal deficit. You know, at the time it looked like Horizon Gaming were definitely they had the game in their I don't want to say in their grasp, but they had a very strong advantage and they had the tempo and everything. And it looked like after a certain point, especially in that was it the dragon fight or the Baron
Yeah,
fight?
yeah. I
Where
think it was.
no, the jungle fight. It was the jungle fight by the Baron, where Archon just used his AoE and decimated PGO, and it was like, okay, this is getting a little bit out of hand here. If they keep doing that a few more times, they're probably gonna win. Um, but we saw that they didn't get the chance to do that. They also made sure they marked the Aatrox and the Kassadin pretty well, I would say. I think Kaiser could have looked for a bit more flank angles on the Kassadin to ensure that he, put the fear of God into the backline of the Vigar and the Ash there, but I don't think he was able to really do so well. So I feel like that also was a bit of a detriment for the side of Horizon Gaming here.
Yeah. You really just explained it as good as anyone could have. It is the GG's. PGO does get the second seed with this win. I
Mhm.
think, as far as I know, Horizon with this loss goes to fourth.
Mhm.
Shadows will take third. Um, they had the head-to-head against Shadows. I'm not 100% sure. I think that's just something that I think Flav will
Our
eventually
math, our
announce and do.
maths team, yeah, our maths team will figure it out
Yeah,
for us and
yeah.
let us know for sure.
So, but as we know, I think Goldfish first seed locked in, and
Yeah.
PGO secures themselves the first round bye. It it is good. You're gonna have one more week to prepare. They're not gonna get the choice, but like you're not gonna face Goldfish at least. You know that, so that's a relief
Yeah.
at least.
Yeah. No, that's definitely the good thing indeed for them. But we do have an interview with Odd Mitch that we will be setting up here shortly. So we're going to cut to a short break as we prepare for that interview with the bot laner of Predictive Gaming, Odin. We'll be right back, so stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, as we are here with our interview with Odd Mitch, the bot laner of PGO. Thank you, Odd Mitch, for joining us tonight for this interview, and congratulations on one, the 2-0 win, and the second seed. So, like, how do you feel claiming that second seed here in heading as you head into playoffs?
Kind of shocked, honestly. Like,
Mm-hmm.
basically, after we lost to Grinchy Goons, I lost all faith and hope in humanity. So, the fact that we somehow secured second seed is kind of wild to me.
Uh huh. And before we got on air, you mentioned something about this series to me. I was just wondering if you could, let our viewers know once again what you said.
Well, ask the question you asked me, and then I'll give my response.
Okay, all right. Well, so how'd you feel about the series then, Mitch?
Well, I felt like it was easier than I expected. We
Okay,
are
and
not known for clean 2-0s at all.
um,
wow. Okay,
the
Sultan, any questions? Go ahead.
Um, so I think especially you, like coming into split, I think at first you went support, then you roll swapped back. A little bit on that. How do you think like your roster like feels best? Like which role when you're playing, like when you're playing AD or support?
So, I
Because I think
started
you've
off
said
the
that.
season as AD, and
Oh yeah.
then in week 3, I think we swapped back, and I went support. Um, I think we're just overall better when I play AD. Like we're 4-0 when I'm AD, one in whatever when I'm not AD. So maybe I'm just a scrub support washed up. Um, I think it's less to do about like the actual role swap as far as why we've been more successful lately, and just more about our roster actually gelling and figuring out how to play with one another.
Hmm. And like going into playoffs, like you're obviously the second seed, but there's been like really awkward games, I think, especially in this division. Like Horizon obviously losing to you, but not only to you, but losing to like Sensei Squad, and then you losing to Grinchy. There's been a lot of like upsets happening. So like going into playoffs, what teams are you like kind of looking like looking at the teams and seeing them as okay, these guys are like big threats for us in the playoffs.
I mean, outside of Goldfish, I'm pretty confident that we can beat any team. Um, Not saying we can't beat Goldfish either, but the PGO way is that we're confident we can beat any team, and we also have shown that we can lose to any team. So it's more about if we can find consistency in our play and have a like an even mental going into games.
The PGO way. Do you guys have like a mantra or a team chant or anything you say before you get into game?
Well, it's mostly just zone yelling like it's a rad angle while we're still in draft before we're even down. It's mostly just an echo chamber of zone and us telling them to shut the hell up.
Yeah, I see him in chat right now saying, "I say super, you say top."
I will say his set ults, he did drop a couple tanky members on top of my head as Ash. I didn't appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely indeed. Oh, so you know what? Speaking of about the Ash pick, I I you guys are, I think, the first team I've seen in the CCS who've picked the Ash and won on her twice now. So kudos to you for one, because she has not been a pick that I've seen a lot of teams win on recently. So but in addition to that, we need to talk about the Zillion Galio. We need to talk about game one draft essentially, because I know y'all's comms are like, I know y'all were having fun. Can we just, what were comms like in game one? Let me just ask you that question.
Uh, well, felt after the draft, we're like, what the hell are they doing? Um,
Mm-hmm.
like we drafted heavy CC with global engage as well as disengage into basically a team that wanted to run head first. Like running head first into a Zillion Ash Galio just never feels good. Um,
Yeah.
Comms are fun. I mean, it's fun when you're smashing, of course, and
Yeah, I'm
Like
sure
Aatrox,
Holgrim and Surprise, like Holgrim and Surprise were just literally running like courier runs across the map here with the Predator Galio and then the Zillion speed buff.
yeah, and they're pretty predictable with how they draft. Petram got hit, so Volibear is his next one up. It's
Okay.
either Zaya or Zeri, like most of their matches. And then we knew he was gonna pick Ari. Like we just knew he was gonna do that because his Ari's kind of cracked, and Galio hard counters the Ari. So I don't know,
Wow.
felt pretty predictable, and I knew what was gonna happen already.
Big brain plays coming out here from PGO, man. I like the confidence. That's really good. Sultan,
Yeah,
any oh sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say Arise. It felt like they were not playing to the level that they're capable of playing, and it
Hmm.
felt like they were kind of tilted after they fell down in game one.
Yeah, and I would say a lot of people will probably also kind of agree with this. Is that, do you think Horizon Gaming have gotten weaker? I mean, the elephant in the room, like once Gregorio left the team, do you feel like that really changed their strength, or do you think that that wasn't as big of a factor?
I don't know if that's the main factor.
Mm,
Like I can just when we're playing against them, it feels like they are thinking too much and hesitating
okay.
instead of just like being fluid. I don't I don't know if they have like a necessary like a game plan going into games or like a way they necessarily want to play the game out. Because
Hmm.
I've seen their bot lane like when given resources they crush, but it felt in this series like I know game two in particular they started looking to camp top, but I don't know if that's necessarily the best style for them. Um, I think they're still a good team though and can turn it around. I know like Scomps in particular is hella good. So if he's given the keys, I know he can drive the car really well.
Okay. All right. Sultan, any other questions from you? Well, I don't want to take up all the airtime.
Not really questions, but props. Good job on the strong finish to the season. That looked a little, let's say, scuffed after the Grinchy loss, but good job on the second seed.
Oh, it's always scuffed. We'll continue to be scuffed during the playoffs.
It's just the
I
PGO way.
I have one more question for you before we let you go here for the night. Then, and that is, as we're heading into playoffs, I know you all did say, or you specifically, and I'm sure your team shares this sentiment that you can beat any team, or obviously you can lose to any team. But is there a certain team you really would like to play in the playoffs, and especially in that first round? And as you know, if you obviously beat them and move forward, then whoever's next. So, is there a team you really like? Oh yeah, we match up really well against them, or I know we'll stomp them. So I would really like to play this team. And if you need me, I can list off the remaining teams here in case you're wondering who's qualified for playoffs.
Um, Not in particular. I really want to play Goldfish again. That's my main
Okay.
goal is to get the Goldfish. After
Okay.
as far as who we play round one, it's like I think all the teams in that little soup in the middle, I think all their power levels are pretty close to one another. So I'm not like it is what it is with whoever we play outside of Goldfish and Shadow Z's gotten a lot better since we played them. I think we played
Mhm.
them week two, so that's probably another team to look out for. But yeah, of everyone else is just bring it. We don't really care who we face. It's all the same to us.
Okay. Well, very confident words here from Odd Mitch, who says, you know, come fight me, bro. All righty, though. Sultan, any last questions from you, though, before we let him go, VOD review and celebrate with his team and everything like that?
No, as I said, good job. I think let's just take this opportunity to say good job to everyone who was able to clinch the playoffs. I'm not 100% sure, but I think this stream one is still playing, so that's gonna decide the last team to clinch the playoffs. So head over to there. Make sure
Yeah,
who make sure who
I'd
clinches
like
the
to.
last playoffs.
I'd like to shout out Grinchy Goons for at least playing a game instead of forfeiting. like Zia White and Crosspoint once they are eliminated. I know you guys got smacked, but respect.
Oh man, what would it be a league without some BM? You know what? I'm here for it because I'm
That's
tired of
not
people
even
always.
BM. I'm
That's
saying
not
like
even
Oh,
I'm good on Grinchy for finishing out the season. Like,
good.
oh
Good
no,
spot. Good
I
spot.
agree with you, but some people may take it as BM because they're
oh
like,
no,
oh man.
if I was 1-8 on a team, I wouldn't be fucking playing. No way. He's Sin too. So good on them. Respect.
Yeah, definitely respect indeed. And Automage, thank you as well for joining us tonight on this interview. And once again, congrats to you. Congrats for clinching seeding and for playoffs, and good luck in the playoffs. I can't wait to cast it because now instead of BO3, we're getting BO5s, and that's gonna be a lot more hectic, stressful, and exciting. We'll probably see some I don't want to say cheese picks, but we'll probably see some interesting compositions. Would you say?
Definitely for sure. I mean, you can only go so deep in the bag, and eventually you gotta pull out the stops.
Alrighty. But with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and wind down for the night. And as I believe Sultan did say here, CCS 1 is still online between Team Death Realm and Iconic Severance here. So go ahead and head over to that channel to see who's gonna win that match there. But thank you all for joining us tonight, and we'll see you soon. Cool.